Hello, collective. Welcome to the Moon Report. My name is Marlene, the modern mystic, and your resident moon goddess, here to bring you the new moon in Sagittarius. Welcome, welcome, whether you're here live or watching the replay. I love to have you here, and as always, share space with you and share wisdom. Your presence is so appreciated and so welcomed. So we're talking about the new moon in Sagittarius that happened yesterday at 6:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this new moon can feel a little counterintuitive. We may be wanting to run off to the races and putting all our plans in place for next year. Eclipse season this year was pretty intense during October, and it felt like a reset for many of us. At least for me, I am like feeling like I'm already in next year's energy. And I'm usually one that kind of tippy toes into the new year and kind of feels like spring is the real new year. And for some reason, this eclipse reset me in such a way where I'm feeling already like I'm in the 2024 energy. But the thing is that we have so many planets slowing down that the real message right now is to slow down and take it in. Some things may be feeling heavy for us, maybe in the areas of relationships, which we're going to talk about a little bit later in the report. But Saturn is going slow at this time. Jupiter is slowing down to go direct at the end of the month, I believe maybe the 30th or 31st. And Mercury, our favorite planet that we love when it goes retrograde, is going retrograde as of today. And the thing with this Mercury retrograde is that the pre-shadow, which means the time that it has shown us what its trajectory is going to be, and the post-shadow, I heard, that's when it goes direct again and goes over everything it just did in retrograde, is more intense in this particular Mercury retrograde than the actual retrograde that begins today. Like, it has been such a buildup to get to this point that it's kind of going to feel a little bit lighter during the actual retrograde that's going through January 13th. But we will be feeling whatever themes come up during this retrograde, we will be feeling them through almost the end of January next year. So this is going to be a time that slowing down is going to be more favorable for you than pushing through. And it's just best to surrender into that energy. Although you may be wanting to move forward in certain areas of your life, and I'm not saying that you can't, you always get the Mercury retrograde kind of like warnings: no signing contracts, no making agreements that are long term. The devil is in the details. You may miss something. You may not have the entire story or all the information. So this is where things can get wonky and your technology can be a little bit weird. And since this retrograde is happening in Capricorn, you may be dealing with masculine toxicity, or maybe males coming back into your life, masculine energy coming back into your life. So the time that you take now to slow down is going to be necessary for when we then come out of this slow period and we really take off and like hit the ground running. So it's time to rethink all the rethink, reimagine, redirect, restructure, review. Don't fight it. Reorganize it. Give into it. The things that you want to move forward with probably need planning. Get to that. You may have missed something. Review it. You may want to readjust what it looks like. This is the time to think about that. And I think, especially the ones that have been around here, for quite some time in these reports, we have learned to make cultivate a better relationship with slowing down. Some of us have learned to take a breath. Some of us have learned to rest and restore and refuel. And if when I'm saying this, something is triggered inside of you, like, shit, I still don't know how to do that, or have I even taken a breath today? It's time to really look at that. It's time to really look at that, because life is made of contractions and expansions, of inhalations and exhalations. And if we're constantly doing, and not practicing the being, it's really creating an imbalance. It is not reflecting what happens in nature. We need the changes. We need the phases. Every project that you're working on needs it. Every relationship you're working on needs it. Every idea you're trying to manifest needs it. Because things happen when you're slowing down in the non-action that sometimes creates more of a quantum leap when you're going into action. And this is exactly what's happening right now. Think of this as a springboard, and you're just like jumping on it to then take off. Because this is what it is. This is where we really get to tweak the things that we've been wanting to put forth, so that when we can, it's exactly in alignment with what you want, with what you need, with what you desire. So if there's something that you're certain about, like if there's something that you're just like, oh, this is kind of something new, this is a new perspective, maybe it's time to sit on that. But let's say there are things that you're just certain of, that you're like, now I have to slow down on this shit. Well, no, just move into a different phase of whatever that is. I'm sure it needs some planning. I'm sure it needs some polishing. I'm sure there's someone you can talk to about how to make it better. I'm sure there's some internal work that can be readjusted so that you feel better about what you're doing, or you feel like you have more energy or more focus. Whatever it may be, lay the foundations now. Lay the foundations now. Take this time, take this breath, let things unfold, let life surprise you. Let the miracles happen. Give them space, give them room. So this new moon is really, lifting us out of whatever our limiting beliefs are, whatever dogmas have kept us down. Sagittarius is the thinker, the adventurer, the traveler, the expander. And Jupiter is about to go direct in Taurus. So Jupiter being the planet of Sagittarius. So where do you want to expand into something new? And start taking time to breathe some inspiration into that, some life. Allow yourself to dream, to imagine, to let doors open without you having to pry them open or push them open yourself. Trust in what you have cultivated all year long, to give you this time to kind of take a breath. because there's magic in that time. There's expansion in that time. And Sagittarius is the sign of truth. So I'm sure that there's more information for you to learn, more things for you to see that are going to be on the other side of the holidays. So allow that, allow your philosophy to expand, allow your mind to change, allow your plans to be rearranged and readjusted if that's what it needs. We can't stay the same. We can't hold on tightly because it just doesn't work in our favor to do so. Change is the one constant we can depend on. And that's what we need to allow to happen. We are in a co-creation with the universe. It's time to remind ourselves of that. And take the holiday. Take the holiday. There's a lot of reasons why the intensity is high right now. We have been dealing with a lot globally, personally. And those two things may not be matching. You may be doing really well personally, and then globally, we're in a fucking shit show. And those two things can coexist at the same time. And you don't have to feel guilty if your life is taking off in a certain direction and there's all this shit happening over here. Because that enlightenment, that growth is your offering to this planet. The one thing, the one gift you can give us all is your enlightenment, is your expansion, is your conscious work. It's your 1% better every day. That's it. That's it. So lean in to that. Lean into that confidence. And then allow yourself to mature into this new phase. Allow yourself to mature emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. There are many directions to grow. There's a trine that's happening with the North Node during this new moon. And what that means is that there's like this fluid energy that's working with this new moon. And that's what has us all excited. Like, I don't know, I'm excited about what's coming. But I also know that I could be uncomfortable about what's coming too. And that has to do with our North Node, like the direction that we're being pushed collectively to go. You know, and we are being pushed to take care of ourselves first. Like put the mask on first. A lot of us have been taught, conditioned, ingrained, indoctrinated to give, give, give. And that is the way that we love. But a true balanced heart chakra is to receive as well. And this slowing down period is a gift from the universe for you to receive. And that's why I like this new moon so much, because it's so full of hope without you having to do anything about it. It's just here for you to receive it, to see it, to feel it in your heart, to dream about it, to imagine it. It's so freaking Christmassy, you know? I'm like cheesy over here about it. But it's full of hope, and it's conjunct Mars, meaning that, you know, the moon is really close to Mars. So we're feeling all this like, go, like, let's get it done and let's get into this new year already. So there's something nice about just really taking our time to strut in to 2024. with more clarity, with more confidence, restful, restored, renewed, refueled, re-inspired, reignited, all the re's. Think about how many re's you can come up with during this time. Redefined, somebody put. I love that. I love that. So just remember to allow yourself to expand. Some of us may be still going through relationship stuff. You know, that has to do with Venus and Scorpio. Venus and Scorpio is quite intense. I mean, it is an intense energy. She is ready to consume. She is ready to devour, you know, and she could get intense in that placement of Scorpio, and there might be some overreacting. There might be some attachments going on in terms of relationships. There might be some intensity, some consuming of all your time. This could also show itself in a way where you may be in a relationship that you're losing yourself in, that you are completely devoured by or consumed by instead of you doing the consuming, right? So, oh, feelings of abandonment. These are some of the shadows that may be coming up. So just know that that is still working through us. I know we've been working on relationships for a really long time. And in many of our lives, that has changed, you know, what that is and what that looks like and who we have in our lives, right? But just know that we're kind of coming out of that, and allow things again to unfold, right? Rethinking what you're going to do if you're in a toxic relationship, right? And seeing yourself maybe without it, or maybe, you know, going further into it, whichever way. Maybe there's something that is working out, or maybe something needs to be readjusted. So just know that we're still dealing with that. A lot of us are still dealing with that. And especially if we have placements in Scorpio, you know, heavy placements in Scorpio, that may be really, really coming to life. But lay the foundation work. Every time you want to like run for the hills with something right now, I mean, I know listen, I'm speaking like from total like personal experience, because I don't understand why every time a Mercury retrograde comes, I'm like ready to like make plans. I'll like launch a class, like the astrologer launches a class during Mercury retrograde. Like, what? You know, like I've questioned myself so much, but there's something about the energy of that planet, right? So when that happens, what I've been doing personally is like, oh, well, I get to plan that, or I get to reimagine that, or I get to really put in more of the bones of what I want to take off with, right? I get to invest more time into what that looks like. So it gives me something to work with. Okay. Just lost my lamp. So the energy is high, I guess. So yeah, so that's what I have for you this time around. Slow down. Um, yeah, retrograde in effect already. Told you there would be technology problems. Here it is. Just lost my ring light. You know, really enjoy this time as much as you can. Invest in yourself as much as you can. Enjoy the holidays, you know, take care of your bodies, your nervous system. It's a crazy time in general. So, you know, really, really focus on you during this time. And, you know, we'll see each other during the full moon, which comes right after Christmas. And we will get to really talk about what we really want to set forth in 2024, what we can dream about, what we can imagine in our future. And I just feel so blessed that I get to do that with all of you. So thank you, thank you, thank you for your support. Thank you for your time, for your love. And just know that I am always here, either on Mighty Networks or on IG at The Modern Mystique, or DM me um, uh, on Mighty Networks if you ever, need extra support around your astrology, if you ever need a tighter container to get a more personal reading. I'm always here for you and to support you in any way and to help and be of service. So I welcome your questions. And also, if you have anything that you need to clarify during these actual reports, remember they're posted on Mighty Networks, and there's a comment section under where we can keep the conversation going. So I welcome that always. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Much love, everyone. Bye bye.